Welcome to the Deep Dive. We cut through the noise to get you well-informed, fast. Today, we're tackling a really massive question, one that impacts every single one of us. Will human lifespans actually rise or fall in the next 100 years? Our sources are pointing towards something pretty fascinating, this great divide that seems to be opening up.
It's a huge tension, isn't it? A real pull in two directions.
Yeah.
On one hand, yeah, we might see some modest gains, in the near term, mostly driven by progress in certain parts of the world. But then you look longer term, and there's this profound uncertainty. It's basically these two powerful forces clashing. You've got potential anti-aging breakthroughs, really revolutionary stuff, butting heads with, worsening global health crises. It's shaping up to be quite a race.
Okay, so let's unpack that a bit. Let's start with where we are right now, especially, in wealthier nations. The research is pretty clear. Those gains in life expectancy, they're slowing down, really hitting what some call a soft limit.
Right, it's not just slowing, it's like the easy gains are gone. The factors that used to add years pretty readily,
Yeah,
they're just not working as well anymore. It's getting harder.
exactly. There was this 2024 study in Nature Aging that really laid it out. It found that pushing a woman's life expectancy from, say, 88 to 89 years, well, now that takes a massive 20% cut in overall mortality rates.
20%?
Yeah, and that's apparently 20 times harder than getting that same one-year gain a century ago.
Wow.
And it's a similar story for men. It almost feels like, biology is pushing back harder now.
It really does. And what's fascinating, or maybe worrying, is how this links directly to the quality of health we have, the health span crisis.
Right. Not just lifespan, but health span.
Precisely. It's this
Yeah.
modern paradox. We might live longer, but are those extra years healthy years? Increasingly, they're spent dealing with chronic illness. It's less about just adding years and more about the struggle to stay healthy within those years.
Okay, give us an example.
Well, take the US. Between the 1980s and the 2000s, diabetes-free life expectancy actually fell. Dropped by about 1.7 years for men, 1.5 for women.
Fell because of diabetes.
Yeah, simply because diabetes rates just exploded. And obesity, that's another huge layer. An obese 55-year-old, for instance, might live up to 5 years less without even having diabetes. And then they often face more years with diabetes later on. It's a double whammy, really, a significant burden on health.
So what does this all mean globally? We're seeing this divergence. Projections suggest global life expectancy might rise maybe from around 73.6 to 78.1 years by 2050.
Which sounds good on the surface.
Right, but the catch is most of that projected increase. It's coming from improvements in lower income countries. Basic stuff.
Sanitation, vaccines, access to fundamental health care, things many places already have.
Exactly. So it creates this kind of two-speed future, a health divide. Some nations making gains with the basics, while wealthier nations might actually stagnate or even decline.
All right.
Unless they get a handle on these lifestyle diseases, environmental threats, really different paths emerging.
That divergence is key, that two-track future. It really underscores why the potential for something truly game-changing becomes so critical. Because if things just continue as they are, that gap, that divide, it's only going to get wider.
Which brings us to the really interesting part, maybe the hopeful part, this potential anti-aging revolution.
Right, the idea that we could actually intervene in the aging process itself.
Yeah, we're talking about some pretty revolutionary science here. Things like AI-powered aging clocks,
Yeah.
using algorithms to figure out your biological age, not just chronological.
And biomarker-guided therapies, too. The idea of treatments tailored specifically to your aging process, highly personalized.
What does that look like in practice? What's actually moving forward?
Well, connecting this to the bigger picture. We're seeing geroscience breakthroughs move from labs, from animal models, into actual human trials, which is a huge step. We're talking about senolytics drugs to clear out those harmful zombie cells that build up as we age, mitochondrial boosters to, improve the energy factories in our cells,
Yeah.
NAD plus enhancers for cellular repair, even things like mTOR inhibitors like rapamycin being studied to regulate cell growth in aging pathways.
And wasn't there something even more
Yeah.
radical?
Oh, yeah. The really cutting-edge stuff is partial cellular reprogramming, essentially trying to reset cells to a younger state. It sounds like science fiction, but something it could actually reverse aspects of cellular aging within the next decade or so. It's mind-bending, frankly.
Okay, wow. So it really boils down to timing this potential tipping point, doesn't it? The next, say, 25 to 50 years. Probably modest gains overall, driven by those catch-up improvements globally, minimal growth maybe in the richest places. But whether the second half of the century sees this longevity explosion, it depends on a lot of ifs. Are we getting ahead of ourselves?
Yeah, well, that's the crucial question, isn't it? It's less about just being optimistic and more about execution and overcoming hurdles. Several big factors will determine what happens. Will these anti-aging therapies actually work safely and effectively in lots of people? That's number one. Then, how do we as societies tackle obesity, diabetes, climate change, these massive headwinds? And critically, will these potentially life-extending technologies be available equitably? Or just for the wealthy? And can our healthcare systems pivot? Shift from just treating sickness to actively promoting prevention and healthy aging? Big asks.
So given all that complexity, that uncertainty, it brings it right back to the listener, to you. What can you actually do right now?
Yeah, exactly. Because while we wait to see how these big scientific and societal trends play out, the basics, they still matter a lot. The foundational steps for extending your healthy life, they're proven. Manage your weight, stay active, eat a reasonably balanced diet. If you smoke, quit. Keep an eye on blood sugar, blood pressure. Don't neglect mental health. Get those regular checkups. Honestly, these habits are still our most powerful tools, regardless of what futuristic breakthroughs might come along.
So wrapping this up, the future of how long we live. It's clearly not set in stone. We've got these two incredibly powerful forces pulling in opposite directions. On one side, the rising tide of lifestyle diseases kind of pushing us backwards. On the other, this cutting-edge science with the potential to pull us dramatically forward. This great divide isn't just abstract, it's really shaping our future.
Absolutely. So the thought to leave you with is this. Which force do you think will ultimately win out, maybe even in your own lifetime? And maybe more importantly, what role do our choices, both as individuals and as a society, play in tipping the balance? How do we make sure that longer lives actually mean healthier, better lives, something to really mull over?